Blimey. Sorry,
Good evening, all.
Sorry, we're a bit late, guys.
No.
Well, we're not.
No.
We're still a couple of minutes early.
Yeah.
But we're normally 5 to 10 minutes early, and I do apologise. We've just been a bit busy today. It's been a bit of a flyer. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful Sunday afternoon, or Sunday evening, I should say. So, first thing I would like to say, and I'm probably going to have to reiterate it again later, but the first thing I would love to say, and you all know him very, very well, our mate Benny. Congratulations, Benny. Absolute congratulations on the newest member of the community.
Yes.
Okay, your little one came along on Wednesday. All our love, respect to your missus. After all, she did all the hard work.
Yeah, she did.
Benny, you're just there as support, mate.
Yeah.
You're there to stand in the corner.
A few minutes and
yeah. So, congratulations to him and his family, sending all our love, all our best wishes. And I'm sure everybody will join us with that.
Hello, Elusive, Martin, Katrina, what else we got? Kitten Killer, Stealth. Sorry we missed your live yesterday, but we were actually out picking up some bistro set from me, and I went, bugger.
Yeah, we were a bit of a run around yesterday.
Hi, Owen. Hi, Lee.
Hi, Owen. How you doing, mate? Right, so other things I say. Owen, congratulations on your achievement this week, mate. Dog Dad, if you join us later on, congratulations on your 5,000, mate. That's absolutely brilliant. Now, boom, community. I have a request. Right, you see the name up there on the board, Kitten Killer.
Oh, which way am I going?
Small G / 7Z.
Hi, Laura.
7Z. That's a Z. Okay, it looks like 72 from here, but it's actually a 7Z.
Stealth flips us off.
Yeah, that's all right stuff. Go over and have a look at his channel. So, Kitten Killer, he's got a little channel, just starting out.
I love the motorbike ones and the garden ones.
Got some fantastic videos on there. One of which
and the motorbike.
I'm probably going to be sharing to the channel at a later date, which is a visit he did to a war cemetery. Absolutely brilliant, brother. Thank you very much. And that's what we do in the community. We all support one another. We get out there. We do things. We have adventures. We hug one another.
And the dear man had his pillion filming on his motorbike, so I felt I was doing it again. Yes.
Ray, sorry, brother. Sorry. Yeah. Did I do that? Have I done that already? Yes, I did do that already. Yeah. Right. So
he's full of too much sweet stuff today.
I am full of sweet stuff today. So when a friend says to you, come down and try this tea room, show some love, show some support.
Small holding.
Try this tea room at a small holding.
Oh my God.
I was expecting to go down and have a nice cream tea.
Blimey.
High ups. Blimey with a capital blah. Okay.
The lady brought we had two these layered plates come out one after the other, and the second one had the scone on it. I said to the woman, that's not a scone, that's a cake.
It was a cake. So I'm not going to talk too much about it tonight because we're actually going to, Kaz is going to be doing a video on that tomorrow to put up on the channel.
We didn't eat anything. It's the chickens. The chickens stole it.
Yeah, we both stuck to our diet. The chickens, they were like like eagles, you know, taking it off the plate. Honestly, I'm still suffering with sugar rush.
Pterodactyls.
But it was a fantastic spot. So what we're going to do, Kaz will be putting that video, or I'll be helping Kaz to put that video up on the channel tomorrow.
Hi, John.
So if ever anybody is down round that way or in the Andover area on a visit, a flyer, whatever you'll know where it is. So you can pop in because it was an absolutely amazing place and run by some wonderful, wonderful people. And more importantly than that, I need a Guinness. So
one's had Coke today because I don't think I better have any more sugar. No. Hi, Ray. really sorry we weren't able to meet up with you today, but we will be
Oh,
down again because that place was
that was amazing. That was amazing.
yes.
So keep the eyes open over the next couple of days, and you'll see a video with Kaz in it for the Oak
Good
Tree
evening,
Lane
Chronically Outdoors.
small
Welcome.
Oak Tree Lane Oak
Track.
Tree Track small
No,
hold.
Oak Track.
Oh, Oak Track small holding.
Yes.
Oak Track small holding. Yeah, get it out.
We've got a new one out. Chronically Outdoors is a new one.
Chronically Outdoors. Hello, mate. How you doing?
If you've
And
got a-
welcome.
If you've
And
got
welcome.
a channel, we will put that up on the board.
Yeah, let us know if you've got a channel, and we will chuck your channel details up.
Yeah.
On
No
with the
doubt our dear
Guinness.
friends in the room will.
Yes. Yeah, and the idea,
So,
chronically, welcome.
good evening, Sam.
Sam, how you doing, brother? Oh, right. Got a can
He
there.
sure does, right? So you can put that on the.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. Right.
You can put that on the
Okey
board.
doke.
Or shall I?
Yeah, I can stick that up on the board.
So Chronically Outdoors.
Chronically,
gonna
I'll
put it
just
on the
have to
board?
do excuse it chronically. Do excuse the spelling.
You
I am
got there, and I'll
as dyslexic as dyslexic can be. Right, Chris. Far away.
CH.
Yeah.
RON. IC.
Yeah.
ALL.
ALL.
Yeah. Y. Outdoors.
There you go.
Da da da.
Chronically. So there you go. Welcome, mate. And
Yeah,
if-
we. It's like a. We haven't run it a bit like a pub atmosphere, you know.
It's a pub.
Yeah.
It's a support group.
Yeah.
I get to drink beer. Not that I want to, you understand. I have I have to force myself every Sunday night to drink beer or cider.
And I might have had a bit too much sugar today, so I'm a little bit high. But
Yeah, so let's move on with things. So it's that time of year, isn't it?
mm-hmm.
It's that awkward time of year. It's that awkward
Hot
time
during the
time of
day,
year.
freezing cold at night.
Get those nice days. Yeah, that's how Kaz just said. Nice days,
He's the same, Lawrence.
longer nights, temperatures coming down. And again, a lot of that is, 2 or 3 weeks ago, you'd look at the weather, you'd look at the wind for the temperature. Now, you're getting longer periods of darkness, the temperature's dropping even further, and being exacerbated by the wind and the conditions. So, of course,
I could put photographs up and a video tomorrow.
it's time to start looking at the kit. It's time to start
If
altering
you
your kit. If you're still on your summer gear, it may be time to start throwing in that extra item, extra layer at the bottom of the bag, just in case. I start sorting out my kit now. I've sort of got an intermediate gear before I go into full winter. But you can still get those odd days where that temperature just plummets. You get that, especially here, you get a northerly wind or an easterly wind, bit of driving rain, fog, mist. That's it. It becomes misery.
Evening, Lee.
But I'm still expecting a few good days. A few good days.
Well, Chronically is doing making a chicken coop for his chicks that come.
Excellent. Excellent. You're gonna have to go and make coffee. Go and grab your coffee, mate. Go grab your
Poor Janet's
coffee.
full of cold.
Oh, Janet, big hugs.
Yeah.
Oh, Janet, cure for cold.
Yeah, we do, Katrina, because it's Halloween coming up, isn't it?
Yeah. Katrina, Janet, cure for cold. So you need a half pint of brandy. Okay.
Half?
Yeah. You want a thimble of strong coffee in that. Okay.
The dad's in the house.
You want
Benny.
about a tablespoon and a half of honey. Right. And you want a little bit of lemon just squeezed in. Okay. Stir the whole lot together. Drink it. Okay. That will chase away your cold. Won't cure it, won't make you feel much better, but it will stop you even caring about it.
Milk.
Okay, so yeah, get yourself a good brandy or rum toddy. That will help you sleep and make you feel a lot better. FU crew, hi guys.
Some haven't got channels, that's why, chronically. Congratulations, Benny. I see you're in the house. Dad's in the house.
Yeah, not everybody has a channel, mate. So basically what we do here, we
some have and some haven't.
Yeah. basically we shout out those that have small channels or just starting out or first time with us. And that way it helps to grow the community. And the idea of doing this, it's not growing a community for me.
What I can tell you is Elusive Dartmoor, he's got a channel.
Yep.
Janet Outdoors has got a channel.
Yep. Benny Bushcraft.
Benny Bushcraft. We've got Life's a Hobby. We have got when Sticks comes in, Sticks Outdoors. We've got
Owen.
like I said, no, Life's a Hobby.
Yeah.
Stealth Car Camping Outdoors. Daz Outdoors. Kiwi the Outdoor Apprentice.
Yeah.
And Kitten Killer, as you can see on the board.
And FU Crew, they got a channel.
There's
Janet has two channels.
LM Bushcraft.
LM Bushcraft. Janet has two channels. Janet, you're so greedy. Anyhow, Benny, congrats, brother. Big hugs to you, your family. Give your lovely wife a big hug, peck on the cheek from me. Give Brooke a pat on the head and give Buddy
Yorkshire Outdoors
big squeeze
as well.
Yeah, and Sam
at Yorkshire Outdoors and Survival.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of it.
Yeah, chronically, you're like me. Internet, mate. I don't touch anything on the screen or the keyboard once my show started because otherwise weird stuff happens. So yeah.
Living Lavu. It's another one.
Living
Good
Lavu.
evening.
So again, so it's getting on to that time of year, isn't it? I mean, we love it. The nights are becoming cooler and longer.
Well done, Nikki. You did all the hard work.
Yeah, she did do all the hard work. Good girl. Yeah, no problem, mate. So things that you really want to be looking at now is that warm kit, but also this is the time of year to start learning to read clouds.
Good evening, Foxy the Witch.
Yeah, this is a time to start studying the clouds, watching the clouds, and attaching that image to the weather. So when you do cloud reading, you're looking. It's all based around wind speed. Wind speed, the same, Nick? Yes. If you see a cloud, what is coming after it? So you need the wind direction and how things are going to change. So if the cloud you're looking at now is traveling towards you at 30 miles an hour, how is the weather being affected behind it? You learn to associate that front, the leading edge of the cloud, with the weather that's following on behind.
Yeah, but that was 9 months ago, Benny. Just get over it.
Here's a bugger. Okay, so and again, the cloud reading is as important as the forecasts. If you've got your kit out there with you, and you can do a bit of cloud reading, the amount of times I've looked up and gone, hang on, they didn't predict this, and I've been able to
like fish and he's, it's not going to be this hot. Tornado, hurricane, yeah.
And then I've been able to adapt to the weather long before, or hopefully before it hits me. So again, start just watching, and it's just a matter of watching. It's looking, associating with, looking how the weather fronts are changing, looking at how the clouds are changing, looking how the temperatures vary. Look for high cloud, mid cloud, low cloud, and so on and so on. And I'm not going to go into detail here because you can literally Google it, and there will be hundreds of images.
It's nearly time for the thermals and the gloves.
Yeah, thermals. Oh, yeah, like the thermals.
I like to wear indoors because I get a bit on the cold in the wrists and hands. I like to wear those fingerless long gloves.
Yeah. And the other thing, of course, it now means I get to spend longer in bed because I'm attached to the sunrise by a bungee. So when the sun comes up, Nick is up. Okay, so that's always one of my issues in the summer.
Come the afternoon, he's
yeah. Oh, yeah, admittedly, but it's just one of those things. I'm pretty much tuned to the sun. So it's getting to that time of year now where I get to have a little bit longer in bed. Yeah, he's in Scotland, so he wears thermals all year round. Yeah, mate, Benny, yeah, brilliant. Daz. That's it, yeah, exactly the same.
Oh, he's got a hot tent as well, but you haven't had a chance to use it yet, have you? But we might.
Not in anger. Not in anger. Hi Lee, how you doing? His idea of a good morning is waking up in the afternoon. Yeah, I live with that, mate. Right, so we've got a bit of a. We're going to
It's
be
not
doing.
going to be that long because if you look at it, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
got-
No, I've got my notes here. I've got a story to read to you. Okay, some of the guys said that they wanted another tale of adventure, adversity,
eating sticks.
of people eating sticks, of people daring do, surviving the worst, coming back, bouncing back, making it through. And again, the stories that I tell of survival are based on that survival. They're invariably stories of people making it through against the odds. So the story I would like to tell you tonight, the tale I want to tell tonight, is about a fantastic woman who never really got the recognition from the authorities and the people involved that she deserved. And now, 100 years later, okay, all but forgotten, except by a few people like me that have a love of survival stories. Now, this young lady was Ada Blackjack. Okay, so what I've done a little bit of research, and because again, tales, you learn them, you give it months, you give it years, they start to change in your mind, you get them confused with other ones. So what I've done, I've got Kaz to pick up the Wikipedia version for me.
Mhm.
So I have some notes in front of me so
You
that I
tell
know the info I'm giving you is correct, like dates, distances, and so
Her
on.
age was very young as well.
Right. So Ada Blackjack.
You better tell her what she's an Inuit.
Inuit, yes. She lived for 2 years as a castaway on an Arctic island. Okay, on Wrangel Island, just north of Siberia. Okay, now we've got to put this into context before I tell her story. Okay, so you need to know a bit about Wrangel Island. Okay, now all the information and research that I've done is based on info that's out there today. So conditions may have been slightly different then. So to give you an idea, this island is about the size of Crete. Okay, it's not a massive island, but it's not tiny. I think it actually comes in as the 92nd largest island in the world. Okay, but the same size as Crete. Um, These days, it is a very strict nature reserve with a 24-mile exclusion zone around it as a maritime protection reserve. Okay, so it is 140 kilometres from the mainland. Okay, so it's fairly out there in the sea. Okay, it is the largest number of polar bear dens of any place on the planet. So the polar bears are fairly rife. The wildlife there is mainly lemmings, Arctic foxes, wolverines, wolves, ringed seals, and walrus. Okay. The island's weather conditions, now these are an important factor. This is something I want you to bear in mind. The climate is dry and cold, but it sits under the polar air mass almost permanently. It is prone to cyclonic winds of up to 40 meters a second or 140 kilometers an hour. From June to September, it's summer. The temperature can reach a balmy 6.5 Celsius or 43.7 degrees Fahrenheit. But the average at this time of year is 1.4 Celsius or 34.5 degrees Fahrenheit. And winter, which is pretty much the rest of the year, it can drop as low as 57.7 or minus 57.7 degrees Celsius, and which equates to minus 71.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Combine that with a wind of 140 mile an hour, you become a block of ice. Okay, the conditions are mostly frosty throughout the year. When it's not frosty, it's foggy.
Isn't it, kid?
Yeah. When it's not frosty, it's foggy. Occasional snowstorms or snow is common. Okay, and in the height of summer, it can be frost free for between 14 and 25 days. It's a time to get your suntan cream on. Okay. A note of interest. It was the last known place on the planet that had a colony of woolly mammoths. Woolly mammoths existed there until
They probably hadn't
2000
survived with that coat.
2500 BC, 6,000 years after woolly mammoths were believed to have become extinct. And again, and this is important to this story, the largest and most dense population of polar bears on the planet. Now, young Ada had a fear of polar bears. Okay, she had not just a normal. Oh, I'm a bit scared if I see a polar bear. She was actually one of her biggest fears was polar bears. Okay, so we come back to the story of Ada, and I just wanted to give you a bit of an idea about it. So not many of us would have heard of Wrangel Island, but just wanted to give you the information of how tough this would have been. So Ada Delatuk was born on May the 10th, 1898, or possibly 1899, in the remote settlement of Spruce Creek, 8 miles from Solomon, Alaska. Ada's father died of food poisoning when she was 8 years old, and her mother sent her and her sister Rita to a Methodist mission school in Nome, Alaska. She was raised by missionaries who taught her to read English and sew. She married Jack Blackjack, a former hunter and dog sled driver, at around the age of 16, and moved to the Seward Peninsula. The Blackjacks had 3 children, only one of whom survived infancy. Jack abused Ada and finally deserted her and their surviving son, Bennett. Ada obtained a divorce before her husband could return and walked 40 miles with Bennett to Nome, where her mother was living. To survive, Ada cleaned houses, sewed clothes for miners, but was still unable to afford Bennett's tuberculosis treatment. Due to this, she temporarily had to place Bennett in the Jesse Lee Home for Children, which could better care for his tuberculosis. Ada became committed to making enough money to be reunited with her son and care for him. Nome Police Chief E.R. Jordan was familiar with Ada's situation, so he mentioned to her that some men were recruiting an Inuit to go with them on their Arctic expeditions across the, I hope I'm saying this right, Chukchi Sea to Wrangel Island. While Jordan was not familiar with the purpose of the expedition, he believed that Ada, who spoke English and was an excellent seamstress, might be a good fit for the mission, which needed someone to sew fur clothing for the team. The expedition was led by a Canadian explorer, Alan Crawford, but financed, planned, and encouraged by a gentleman called Stefansson. Okay, Stefansson remained behind to fundraise for another Arctic exploration to search for a continent north of Wrangel Island. He believed that the Arctic would be easily inhabitable for those that were prepared to adapt. Yeah. Gives you an idea of what this guy that was funding it and pushing it was like. And we come back to him later in the story. Stefansson sent 5 settlers, one European Canadian, 3 European Americans, and 1 Inuit, Ada, in a speculative attempt to claim the island for Canada. The explorers were handpicked by Stefansson based upon their previous experience and their academic credentials. Stefansson considered those with an advanced knowledge in the fields of geography and other sciences for the expedition. On the 15th of September 1921, the team was left. It wasn't the case that they got stuck there. They were left on Wrangel Island, north of Siberia, to claim the island for Canada or possibly United Kingdom, neither of which actually wanted the island. But hey, it was a good plan. Blackjack had many misgivings about joining the expedition, especially when she was misled to believe that she would be one of many Alaskan native people to join the crew. It turned out she was the only one. Okay. The team included 5 people, Blackjack, who had been hired as cook and seamstress. The American men were Lorne Knight, Milton Gale, Fred Muir, Alan Crawford. Muir had spent 8 months on the island in 1914 after surviving a shipwreck. Okay, the conditions on the island were adequate at first, but after a year, they turned. The conditions on the island were adequate at first, but after a year, turned for the worse. Their rations ran out, and the team was unable to kill enough game on the island to survive. On January the 28th, 1923, so they'd already been there since September 21, 3 of the men finally attempted to cross the 90-mile frozen sea to Siberia for help and food, leaving Blackjack and the ailing Knight, who was suffering with scurvy, leaving Knight to be cared for by Ada. He was cared for by Ada until he died on June 23rd, 1923. Now, Ada at this point left his body in this tent, and to protect his body from the polar bears and the other animals, she took the supply boxes and literally barricaded his tent, zipped him up inside his bag because she wanted his body to be returned to his family. Okay, she was a Christian and she wanted him to be careful, so she did everything she could there, and then moved herself into the storage shed. She moved from where she would have been comfortable into the storage shed. This is a tough woman. Okay, she now found herself alone, except for the camp cat called Victoria. Okay, now she was already been suffering with malnutrition. She had been suffering with the beginnings of scurvy. And she had to learn in this period, once these first 3 guys cleared off, she had to learn to hunt, catch seals, prepare game, forage the lemmings, find whatever she could to keep them alive. And she kept Knight alive for 6 months, even though he could hardly move and he couldn't care for himself. She looked after him until he finally passed, which would have left her alone. She was left alone, except for the expedition's captain, Victoria. Blackjack survived in extremely cold conditions for a further 8 months, hunting foxes. She learned to build boats, sew parkas. She was rescued on August 19th, 1923, by a former colleague of Stefansson's, Harold Noyce. Some newspapers hailed her as a real female Robinson Crusoe. When she was paid, she didn't even get the $50 a month that she was initially told. Stefansson decided that he wasn't going to pay her properly, so he didn't. She didn't do her
job properly.
Apparently, she didn't do her job properly, and so she never even got a full pay, bless her. I'm going to read a little bit about her later life, just so that, because I like to finish up a story telling it to its end, and this is a sad one, I'm afraid. Okay. Blackjack used the money she had saved to take her son to Seattle, Washington, to treat tuberculosis. She remarried and had another son, Billy, and eventually she returned to the Arctic, where she lived to the age of 85. Her last years, Blackjack was a quiet person, and she hated the media circus that developed around her. She hated the media circus that developed around her. Where are we? Sorry, I've lost my place now. Blackjack was a quiet person, hated the media circus that developed around her, and the attempts by Stefansson and her rescuer Noyce to exploit her story. Now, they both wrote books she never saw a penny from, and the books became bestsellers. Apart from the few $100s she'd earned for the furs she had tracked on Wrangel Island, Blackjack did not benefit from her ordeal at all, and she received no compensation that were on the books that were written about her. Blackjack died in a state retirement facility, the Pioneer Home, Palmer, Alaska, and was buried in Anchorage. Her gravestone includes a plaque reading, "Heroine, Wrangel Island expedition. She was buried next to her son, and the cemetery she's buried in was named after her. Okay, and that, my friends, I'm afraid, is the sad story of Ada Blackjack. Now,
They were tough back in them days.
words
Because
tough.
she was never brought up to be Inuit.
She had been in a missionary home, so
in a township. She didn't know
Yeah.
the fishing. She didn't know apart from the sewing.
they were tough in those days, elusive. Yeah, sorry, I stumbled through it a little bit, but if you're interested, go look her up. There's several people have done some really good videos, and I won't buy the books myself. The reason I won't buy the books is, you understand from this, the people that wrote the books never sorted her out for it. They never.
You can.
So
there is. You can see up it in YouTube, and it goes into more of how tough it was for her, because they really did pick on her.
Yeah,
and
she was abused by the men there.
She did try to kill herself several times.
Yeah, they didn't treat her very, very well at all. And again, that goes back to a time when the indigenous peoples weren't seen as.
But she kept that man alive, and he would probably have died a lot sooner if it hadn't been for her.
Definitely.
And the three that went off, they were never seen again. So they obviously failed.
To make it to Siberia. Yeah. So, Ada Blackjack, I raise my glasses to you.
Yeah.
Blessings be upon you. May your spirit be at peace, and may you be an inspiration to your people.
Over
and may your story never cease to be told. And again, another one of those little stories from history that get lost because, people don't like to be seen as bad. But yeah, look her up, have a look. You'll find it fascinating. Tough girl.
Yeah, it's not all good. You have to have the good with the bad, don't you?
Yeah. I know, not the most cheerful story. And usually my stories are happy endings. But the reality of survival, and we always come back to this, the reality of survival isn't always
what do you do that paperwork?
A success, okay? The reality of survival is making it through, which she did. And not only did she make it through, she kept the cat alive, herself alive, okay? And she kept that crewman who was unable to care for himself alive for 6 months. That is an incredible feat. That is an amazing thing for somebody to do.
No, FU is spelled ADA as, yeah. Yeah, you want to know how to spell it. You want to look up her. It's ADA Blackjack.
There we go, guys. Oh, and I see she was a good-looking girl. Okay.
But she ended up having to kill polar bears, and seals aren't exactly friendly either, are they?
Yeah, there are people that have told a story better than I can. This mumbling old git stumbles through it, but there are people that have told the story better and have given you some real good footage of the place. Now, Wrangel Island yourself, you cannot visit now. It's part of the Russian state. And again,
there's always a cat, isn't there?
A protector. Cats.
Yeah.
I'd have probably eaten the cat.
He's probably just sitting there going,
"Sorry, Benny."
Victoria was saying, I ain't going outside. It's too bloody cold. I'll stay nice and warm. Oh, you're going to feed me? I'm not eating that.
I'd have probably opened the curtain and gone, what's for dinner today? Walrus. Yeah. It's minus 71 there.
Quite an in-depth...
Hello, puss. That's all right, Willow. I wouldn't have eaten the pussycat. John.
Yeah,
oh,
mate. He's going to go and look in the library tomorrow and see if for the books.
Yeah, definitely, John. Yeah, it looks fake, Mickey, but the heart like that never goes away. It doesn't. No. And I wanted to tell a story because it's 100 years, and hers is a story you don't hear about that often. I came across it donkeys years ago in a book, and it was just a short paragraph. And that was the problem for her. Her story wasn't really, really told, apart from by people that were robbing her blind. But it deserves to be remembered.
All she wanted to do was to raise enough money to bring her child out of this home
Which she
and to
did manage
treat
to do.
his TB.
Yeah.
And she, a young mother, she's going to want to, you're going to go out with strange men you don't know, and in living in a way it's not, you can't just go to the cupboard and pick food out. You had to
manage.
Yeah.
And Bennett lived to the age of 53. So full credit to his mum. At a time when people died very early from tuberculosis, she got him through to the age of 53. So she again, she's a cracking woman, and
Oh yeah, I like the ones at Dartmoor, and I've got some of Widdicombe on them all.
John, did you manage to see Jason's reply to you about the biscuits and scones on the video? He got hold of me yesterday. He said, "Oh, do you know if John's seen it? Hopefully he wasn't offended. Hopefully he enjoyed it." Yeah, hopefully you like that.
Is that for us chronically? Yeah, we do like camping outdoors. I'm pretty clever with an old catapult.
Yeah, chronically,
I can throw an axe, and I can make a fire, and there was a non-go. I love mud. I like going and playing out in Land Rovers. I used to do it more.
Chronically, I spent a while as an instructor, shall we say that much. So I've taught survival techniques for a while. Got quite a bit of experience in it. Been all over the place. I'm retired now, so
He's my full-time carer because I'm disabled
Kaz.
now.
So what I do is I give myself a day off or an afternoon off each week, and after doing some work for a group of people, their producer said to me, start your own channel, mate. You teach. We enjoy your teaching. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not interested in making my channel huge. I'm not interested in making an income from a channel. Although it would be nice, bump the old pension up a bit. However, what I do enjoy doing is just sharing what I've learned, sharing a love, a fascination with just being outdoors, and occasionally putting myself against it.
John, it's in the one about the Angry Beaver camp, number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't get a chance. We're disabled. I don't have so much chance to go out and about so much, but I've got an off-roady scooter.
She used to be my hill buddy. So
I fish.
We used to go up into the mountains together. We used to do a lot of hiking, a lot of walking, and a lot of travelling. We had a lot of adventures together. Unfortunately for Kaz, about 9-10 years ago now, about 9-10 years ago, she had a trip and a fall at home as well, just coming through the back door. And unfortunately, at the time, I had a metal grate, these boot cleaning type grates in front of the back door, and she landed on it on her knee and damaged the knee. And what we didn't know at the time is undiagnosed Kaz has something called Hashimoto's disease, which means her immune system.
I've got Chinese.
Her immune system attacks her body. Okay, so when it's triggered, like the rest of us, it will attack the illness. Hers doesn't. It's a bit confused. It attacks her body. It attacks things like her thyroid. It triggered. She went from physically able, capable, mooching around. Within 6 months, she developed chronic arthritis in all her joints, and the joints started to swell. She within 2 years, they had to fuse a couple of her fingers. They've had to operate on her ankles to try and just control the level of arthritis because it's become debilitating for her. Been a lot of pain and does suffer a lot. However, spirit. She's my spirit. So the other thing for me making my videos, when I go out and I do these things, quite often I'm doing them so Kaz can share it. So I can still take her along with me. I can show her how the top of Row Tor looks now on a sunrise, or how the woods are looking, and so on and so on and so on. And I do it to share it with my granddaughter. She's a wee one. And God forbid, touch wood, nothing's going to happen. But if something happened to me, this part of me is something that can be looked on through time. And if along the journey I can share some information, teach some techniques, have a giggle, have a laugh, help somebody else out, that's what we do.
Yeah, I think it is that one. There's it's the longest video that you've got.
There's 2 Angry Beavers Summer Camps 2024, John. And it's the longer one of the 2 of those. It's got a bit, especially for you, about midway through. Jace actually, he's like, please Mick, can I please Mick, just for John. So we did it for you. Yeah.
But not saying that we yes, Sticks he's our alcohol maker.
Yeah, Sticks
makes cider, and it's
so I'm lucky enough to have the use of a small woodland in southern England, where I get to go and do a lot of my videos, and it's not too far from home. It's about 20-mile round trip for me, but it's handy for me, and in the same place, in return for me doing bits and pieces up there or doing my bits and pieces in the woods, I hold a couple of camps every year. So you can see those on the videos. We get together, guys from the community here. We all get together in the woods. We have a weekend. We have a laugh. I say guys, I mean guys and girls. Come on, Janet, your invite's out there. And we basically just people that love to be outdoors.
Unfortunately, I couldn't come visit this time, but it was fun.
And again, it doesn't matter on your skill set. I'm not one of these. I only want experience.
And next time, Lawrence, you will get you picked up.
Yes, we will get picked up
because I know you don't drive.
Lawrence, that's the point. Don't tell me exactly where you live, but whereabouts in the UK are you?
It's near.
Because I've got an inkling that you're somewhere near Kiwi, which there. Well, I'm pretty sure.
I think he's not. I think he's closer to. He's.
Yeah. Oh, in that case, I'll go and pick him up. Excellent, John.
Yeah. They had. You had. Jason made Jason is the Hampshire Outdoors Kitchen.
Yeah.
He made a rain stew. This time you did the.
I did the cooking.
Yeah.
Well, no. Yeah. I started doing the cooking. Jace turned up, and because he's a chef, I sort of went, I started cutting things. And he was like, chop onions like this, you chop this like this, and you do it like that. So, again, hi, Faye.
What he'll do is kind of if you see there's any little farms, people that's got maybe horses, they got woodland with their land.
So So I used to shoot. I used to do a lot of shooting. I used to do a lot of vermin control. How do I get permissions?
Pot smoke.
So, how do I get permissions? It's a hard thing to do. You've got to earn the trust of landowners, farmers, and people like that. And one of the ways you can do it is through word of mouth. You need to find somebody that knows somebody, and once you've done that, you've got to be able to offer something to them.
You want me to go through and say, do you know, I can go in, I'll clear up some of your fallen wood.
One of the big things these days is having somebody just to keep an eye on land. Okay? It's having people using your piece of land that you can trust that are also going to keep others off of there. And when I say others, I don't necessarily mean other wild campers, walkers, and things like that. It's people monitoring for fly tipping. It's people monitoring for those people that might be using it for nefarious purposes. Okay? It's getting harder and harder and harder to protect your little bit of land. So you can offer skills like that to people. I would always start off by saying, let me try it for a couple of weeks, and if at any point you decide you've had enough, you just say to me and I'll walk away. No disrespect, no anger, no nothing. I'll walk away. I will stick to your rules, your regulations on what you will allow me to do there. And even if they're quite tight, even if they're quite restrictive, in a couple of places I've used in the past, it's literally no fires. Don't even want you using a gas burner in there. But 6 months in, they've seen what I'm doing, and they learn to trust you, and that's the thing. You've got to build to develop that trust and that relationship.
Go in there, tidy up, put up the old fallen branches, pile them up,
tidying the hedgerows up, managing the wildlife, clearing things out, and sometimes you've got to put a lot of graft in. Fence erecting was something I used to do a little bit of for people because I grew up in that sort of environment. So I used to say to them, I'll rebuild that fence down there for you.
Or, if you go back to them and say, they might have a problem that someone's cutting the fences to get into the woodland to hunt for things. If they don't know that the fence is down, they put animals in the field and the fences are cut. Then those animals get in the woods, they can get onto the roads, and
Benny, shop run, that's essential, mate. Yeah. Nicky, you tell him straight. You want it, he's got to get it.
Did you really run though?
Did he really run? Did he run?
And we worked out, Benny. I mean, you're doing really well with your subs. So now you've got your daughter, as well as Brooke.
Yeah, you can't add that one.
Just, you know what I mean?
Can he add that one?
Yeah, that means you've got another sub for you, isn't it?
Yeah, am I jealous? Yeah, poor old Benny is going to be busy now. He's going to be run off his feet, I bet. I bet he's one of them dads as well. I bet he's just like, it's all right, Nicky, let me. I wonder if it'll get to the point where Nicky's like, oh, Benny, will you just go up the woods? Go up the woods for an afternoon. Get out. Go away. Give me some space.
Or the ones that go, oh no, a Poonami, I'm off.
No, I don't think he is. I can't see Benny being one of those that's frightened of changing a nappy. Yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, I did it again. I keep hitting like a psychological wall. It's I sort of know where I'm going with a sentence and drive. And right, and so for those of you that are new and don't know me that well, okay, so my name is Mick. Okay, former Royal Engineer, and then with a lot of experience, shall we say, within the MOD and the private security world, and a lover of being outdoors, sharing the environment. However, one of the issues I picked up in my life a couple of traumatic brain injuries. So there are occasions when I am unable, it affects my speech pattern. So there are times when I stammer. There's times when my brain tells my mouth what it wants me to say, but it's not necessarily the words. It's not Tourette's, but it's sometimes I just can't get my words out. And you'll see me making almost nonsensical sentences or using words that either don't exist or completely wrong for that situation. I do apologise. That is just one of those things. I have to deal with it. I deal with it with a sense of humour. It's also why my head's a funny shape.
Benny, you should see you went to see the videos we're gonna do tomorrow. We went to a tea on a farm today. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cake.
Oh, yeah, we had a good day today. We had a good busy day. We had to run around a fair bit, didn't we? Had to charge around. I made friends with a pig. In fact, I made friends with 5 pigs.
I wanted to bring some bantams home.
Yeah, Kaz was going to kidnap some chickens. Cheers, Stephen. It's one of those things. I deal with it.
You won't see the rest of it, Kiwi. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, so we try and have fun and encourage people, and we've built really accidentally, wasn't it? This community. Yeah. It's just something that developed. This is people join us on a Sunday night.
We did a 4-hour one on New Year. Last year. That was hard, wasn't it? 4 hours.
I don't chase for numbers. This is a community of like-minded people that get together. The premise of this community is we're all different. We're all from all over the world. FU Crew's in Chicago. John is down in Louisiana. Virginia's in Virginia.
Yeah.
We have guys all over. We have people in Alaska. We have people in Norway. We have people in India. We have people from
You got
all
one
over.
in the Philippines that follows
Yeah,
you as
we have
well.
somebody in the Philippines, New Zealand, and Australia. So again, as part of the community, we just share. It's just people that enjoy it. But the nice thing is we try and help one another along. Tips, ideas, methods. St. Louis. Oh, I'm sorry, John. Sorry, John. I don't know. I got an absolute brain fart. I'm so sorry. I know it. You know when you say it,
Yeah.
and the minute you say it, you go, "No, he isn't." But
You
you're
know,
like,
John.
do I
You
correct
know,
it?
after
No.
a year, mate, you know. Yeah. And New Zealand, yeah.
And again, we just have fun. We just have fun. We support one another. We share one another's videos. We like, comment, show a bit of support, encourage.
And of course, he's got his wall of all sorts of everything. The man cave is got all there's knives, axes. Oh, you know, if you saw the one where he's done the smuggling from Isle of Wight,
smuggling chilies out the Isle of Wight.
They're up there behind, above it. Where are you? There.
Yeah, Pedro Habanero. These chilies. If there's any of you in the UK that want a couple of chilies sent, and the seeds, this plant. Okay, this plant, the Quackamunga.
You changed your name again. Hi, Mac.
The Quackamunga chili of doom. Okay, now these seeds will germinate. Okay, they will grow you a plant you would not believe. These chilies are what we call high impact chilies. They are put one on your tongue, your mouth goes numb. Okay, so for those of you that want to grow chilies to either use as a pest control system, or you want to, like I've done there, making some chili oil for cooking, or you like your hot chilies.
Dad's like, oh yeah, well, Dad's these are. Yeah.
These are absolute.
He's done these. These are from they contain rosemary from our garden. There's garlic, capers, and obviously the chili and oil in there.
Virgin olive oil.
Virgin olive oil. So yeah.
So again, you can hit me up, and I will. Once they're dried out, send you a couple of these chilies. Now, they're not huge chilies, as you can see.
Definitely, Faye. There's a few there.
Yeah, so I can send you some. Get those through to you. I'm just drying them now. I'm just air drying them, which is the best method. And all I'll do is I'll pack them up in an envelope, send you the seeds, and if you plant them out, next year you're going to get a chili plant about that big, and it will be just covered with these Quackamunga.
Great for piles, yeah. Yeah, what he didn't, his mum grew them. The bush it's one plant. It was mad.
I've got to show you my
yeah. Look, his hot pants.
Those are my chili smuggling pants. This is how I got the chilies back. Okay, they were the chilies were down the front, shall we say? There was no way they were being hidden up the back.
Yes, as you say, you wouldn't put me in your prison purse, would you, John?
No. Wouldn't really.
But yeah, his mum come in and like that. So he grabbed it and ate it. And what she was just showing it to him, and she couldn't say to him, "It's really hot," because she had one in her mouth herself, and she nearly killed him.
Yeah, these
hot stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's these. I would say now. So I make my own.
Mary.
Trying to think of the word. Animal repellents. Okay, so if you have any species of animal that is becoming a pest species, one of the things you can do if you don't want to physically harm them, shoot them, trap them, or injure them, you can repel them. And one of the things you can do is by finding hot chilies, grinding them into a paste, okay, and then mixing them with Vaseline, okay, and then smearing them on the root. You'll stop the animals from coming in because, again, most animals' noses are really sensitive to capsicum.
They sniff first.
They will sniff first, go, I'm not going in there. And in the event that they do, that then gets that chili onto them. Now, most animals will clean one another. Makes you bloody unpopular when you're in the nest, setting fire to everybody else's face.
Faye's not sure she wants them now. She's seen how you've smuggled them in.
That's all right. They were put inside a giant condom, aka bin bag. No, didn't smuggle them in like that. They came in my rucksack along with a butternut squash that my mum had grown. But
that thing is huge.
Yeah.
I'll send you some, Kiwi. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get you some sent up. Yeah, and enjoy them. I'm not going to use. I mean, my favourite way of using chilies is to make a chili oil.
And you just fill it up with
give that a month, and then I can use the oil, which will give me a little bit of heat, a little bit of flavour, and then I can top it up with virgin oil, and I can literally keep that going for a year, just by topping it up.
Kitten don't ask. Yeah, he's shocked now. You and your Vaseline.
It's a great way of keeping.
Yeah. Oh, Dad, that was so funny. That yeah, Mac knows this person as well. But yeah, I said to them that the story is Frank kept asking about going, about people going to these dogging sites. And I said, what you got to do, you got to put potato on your roof. And that way they know that you're same sort, into that sort of thing. So he was going around with a bag of potatoes in his car. So that's hence was Dad was saying about putting the potato on the roof.
Yes. So, yeah.
They came through the back door. Nice one, Steve.
Yes, it's getting very adult this evening, isn't it?
Yes. Did you put the warning out?
No, I didn't. Basically, if you've got small children, you may have to block their ears or explain to them what certain practices may be. I do apologise. Yeah, so using chilies they've been used as animal repellents for centuries, and they make fairly good human repellents when mixed with liquid and vapor forms and so on. Hence, capsicum in your pepper sprays and that. Yeah. If you want to giggle, if you've got squirrels and you want to make life interesting, cover a chili in peanut butter and put it on the squirrel table. They're greedy little buggers. There's a moment where they've got
a squirrel for getting into your camp and attacking. You know what the squirrels are like for getting into your food.
There is a moment when the squirrel has got as much of it as possible into his mouth and realises he doesn't want it there. Okay. Not that I would have ever done anything like this, but it's quite entertaining.
Yeah, we'll say thank you to Kitten as well for sending out some more of your tripods to different people.
You are a gentleman and a scholar, mate.
Probably does, yeah. We've upset the beavers. Now it's the turn of the
given the choice, my friend, between humanely dispatching them or dissuading them from the bird table by using, shall we say, a harmless system, may cause them a little bit of discomfort, but wasn't going to hurt them seriously.
I know, John, it's bad.
Which I'd rather do. Yeah.
Evening, Andy, outside.
Yeah. We do have to watch out for the accidental psychological nudity. It does happen.
Yeah, Andy outside. Mick was saying that he's got some really hot chilies that are just above his head. He's been making some chili oil with garlic and rosemary and that. So yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, a few crews done the same thing. Vaseline and cayenne. Yeah. And again, you're not going to harm the animal. But most animals, their nose is sensitive enough for them to go, I'm not going near that. Okay, they'll avoid it. So again, it's just using nature's own deterrence. I mean, that's what capsicum does. The capsicum in a chili is a deterrent to animals that would eat chili, apart from humans.
Recently, a neighbour 4 or 5 doors down, their cat, one of her cats, has got a habit of bit in that hedge in the front garden, and we let Willow out because he likes to go out in the front garden on the grass, and this blooming cat attacked him in his own garden. So I've been getting some lemons and cutting them up, squeezing a bit of lemon juice around, and just leaving the rest of the lemon and that round.
Yeah, see, living the view. Yeah, you're right there, and I've come across this before because I was assured by somebody that birds can't actually taste the capsicum. They don't. Their tongues aren't designed to sense the heat, so they're not affected by it.
No.
Whereas mammals and rodents, they are. So at the end of the day,
I bet you did, Andy. Scotch bonnet.
At the end of the day, there's quite a few bird foods out there that have chilies and peppers added to keep the squirrels off them, and yeah, so then they make their own.
Where he's been on the Isle of Wight, they've only got reds over there. They haven't got any greys at all because they haven't got over the water, have they?
Yeah, it's
But they are a pest, the greys.
Yeah,
people find them funny, and they.
Yeah,
I love it. I was watching one where a lady, she puts jam sandwiches out, strawberry jam sandwiches out for pine martins up in Scotland.
Yeah.
And the pine martins come into a garden.
So Faye makes chili with Scotch bonnets caught. I wouldn't eat it either. I'm afraid my ulcer would absolutely go mental. And again, people say to me, "You don't eat chili, Mick. Why?" No, I use chili in cooking, but I'm not a big fan of Monster Heat. I like the flavours, so I tend to use
so you can't actually
small
taste
amounts. Yeah, small amounts. But again, it's got many other uses. Like I say, as a deterrent, as an insect repellent as well. It works. Although don't smear chili all over yourself thinking it's going to keep the mozzies off. You've got to decide which plane's going to be worse.
Rub your eyes.
Yeah, and again, the processing of these, the bringing them back, because for your harvest chilies, if you're going to be sort of 10 hours, you actually harvest them. So you cut the plant off and take the branches, so you keep as much nutrient in it as possible.
Hi, Outdoor Ali.
Hi, Ali. How you doing, mate?
How did
and how did your adventure go? Hopefully it went well.
Yes, Kitten, I saw those squirrels abusing your shed roof for their sexual needs.
Well, they weren't having it away on his
roof.
That's
why he's doing a squirrel launcher. They sent me a photograph of these. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not it's worse, isn't it? You get the blister on the way out.
Oh yeah. Blister on a 5 mile hike out, Mick. It's not good.
In the freezer, maybe, Andy. To cool down your toilet roll.
No, but I have been known to dab Tabasco on toilet rolls. So I have been known to unroll the toilet roll, dab Tabasco on each sheet, and then roll it back up. That was that kind of.
It's be all right for the furries, then, Ken.
I was that kind of practical joker. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I like Little Frogs. I think Kit was saying it's like a German porn movie in the spring outside. I said that'll do for the furries.
Another Guinness on the way. Right, so.
He's not eating them. Hello, Willow.
Hello, Willow.
Mick had a tomahawk steak yesterday, and he gave the bone to Willow, and Willow has he's chewed all the meat off it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's chewed right into the marrow bone.
And he's been...
But he went rushing downstairs this morning, jumped up on the sofa, grabbed his bone, come back upstairs. We've had it on our pillows. We've had it on the quilt. It's just, yeah. No, I've never done that, Andy, but I've always wanted to do it.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that. He's got a nice marbling effect going on there, Owen. Look at that.
Guinness is frozen. I've actually got a Guinness iceberg on the top, or Ginberg.
Crush it. Well, last time we crushed it, the ball thing come out of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I crushed it. Don't you worry. I've got what I call a Ginberg on the top. It's the one thing that the Titanic would have liked to have run into. So yeah,
I've got I'm on the new Coke with lemon.
Look at that. And for those of you that don't know, I've been a Guinness drinker for years. I mean, most of my adult life, in actual fact. And I'd always been told,
That's a good one, Ali.
pour the Guinness slowly and gently and all the rest of it. And I never actually really liked Guinness from a can until an Irishman. So he knows best. Said, no, get your draft Guinness, the draft Guinness cans.
Mac, that was naughty.
Give it 15, 20 minutes in the freezer. Allow it to frost up. And you can pour it as quick as you like then. And I'll tell you what, he's not wrong. It makes one of the best pints of Guinness you will ever taste in your life. Absolutely delicious. Non-alcoholic Guinness, no, won't go near it. No, I'm sorry. Guinness is a health food.
Yeah. Right, it said he took a trainee nurse out for a curry. He got her a chicken fowl and never saw her again. I wonder why.
Mac, you're a bugger.
Yeah, we had to message Dan. So I don't know if you've seen on the news that
that's a point. Yes, let's
all
put out
the big this really bad flooding in Poland.
Yeah.
Well, it's now in Czech Republic.
And again, to have a thought for all those people in Central and Eastern Europe that are being affected by the floods and the severe weather, snow, blizzards, the hell that seems to have descended upon them. I know my son Dan, he's in the Czech Republic. He's okay. We have checked in with him, but you know, he said it's pretty bad out there.
I was reading today that I think it was about 47 kilometers outside Prague was a car with 3 people and it lost control and went into one of the swollen rivers, and that it's really bad out there.
Had it pretty severe, so yeah. Hopefully they're okay.
But he's promised that he's gonna let us know that everything's all right. But I don't know if you've seen the snow in Italy and
Switzerland.
Austria.
And Austria,
really, yeah. I mean, it is that time of year, but not the amount of.
Oh, it's early. It's very early.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Owen. You're a genius. Look at that. Look at that.
I see. We're down in the south, and we have to go chase the snow. I mean, we normally have to go out towards Kent to go and see any snow.
Comes in on the east.
But it seems to go. We're in Farnborough, and it just seems to go round us. And we don't see any of it.
1988 was the last proper winter we had down here. The snow came in on, I can't remember the dates now. It came in January, beginning of January, and it hung on right through to the end of March. It was a very cold winter. The temperature didn't get above freezing.
But you go by the plants. I mean, the hawthorns and haws and that are.
That was quite a severe winter. It tends to go on cycles. The cycles appear to be getting longer and longer and longer, but we will get another one. And it will probably come as a surprise. We tend to have periods of mild winters in the south, and then all of a sudden, it only takes a blocking low somewhere off the or in the North Sea, and then we start to get an easterly wind. And if we get that blocking low and we get an easterly wind, then that brings in the cold off of Siberia, off of Norway, those sort of areas, and that can bring it in for us.
I bet it was.
Invariably, what we have is a northerly. We get that through the winter on occasions. That can bring what they call the Arctic blast or the cold. But the thing is with that, it brings moisture, and as it comes down over the UK, it will snow in the North Scotland and the Highlands,
But then you have
over the
these
North
weird
York
ones,
Moors.
don't you?
But then as it comes down over the Midlands, you get the warmer air. It starts to warm it up, and then by the time it gets down here to the south, it's a little bit of what I call fat sleep
But
that lasts
it wasn't
a day.
that long. There were a few years back that out on Bodmin, they had loads of snow, and places like Bude, where we used to go on the coast, they got so bad they couldn't even get out of their driveways.
It only lasted a day or two, wasn't it? And again, for those areas, it's when I was a lad, it was unheard of. Snow in the West Country? No, you got warm air off the Atlantic all the time, keeps it away.
I'll have a box of snow.
Yeah, it's now. I mean, really, you want to look at it scientifically. For us to get snow in the south, we need a northeasterly or an east wind, and we need that to collide with slightly warmer air coming up off of the channel, which will give it the moisture, and that will give us snow. But prolonged periods of cold in the south, not so much so. I think 14 days year before last was about the longest period we had, and then we were only getting down to -2, -3.
I remember that in Somerset. It was
when you get up onto the Highlands, get up onto the moors, you start gaining a bit of altitude again.
Well,
that's not so much.
A few months ago, a couple of months ago, they had snow out on the Glencoe.
Yeah,
that was
on the moors. A lot of people don't realise that aren't from the south. Some of the moors are very high areas, very exposed areas. Excuse me. Very high and exposed areas, so that you can quite often get snow up on some of the higher moors. Same as in Wales, there's parts of Wales that never see snow, and there's other parts of Wales where you almost can't get it to go away. And most of that is altitude reliant.
You go to bed and wake up and it's white outside. Never really so. Yeah, ice is a problem.
Ice is right. So that's one thing, isn't it? If you're going down to the West Country, you can some of those little valleys, some of the little nooks and the glens, very deep, very steep. They don't get any sun in the winter at all. No sun gets down there, and the temperature drops and they become ice holes. And you can literally be driving on some of the ridges, and it will be a balmy winter's day. Warm, down to a t-shirt and all the rest of it. You drop down into that gully and you almost drop into an ice pit. It will be frozen down and the air temperature will be super low because it just does not. A, it doesn't get any sunlight. B, they're so steep-sided they don't get any wind either. The air travels over the top and it just becomes a sink of cold.
That's why it's they do storing a lot of the cheese in the gorge, don't they? Because it's cold.
Yeah. Cheddar Gorge is an ice pocket in its own right. Well, that's Cheddar Gorge. It's a weird thing. You can be up on the rim of the Cheddar Gorge, and it would be a balmy sort of 104 degrees. You get down into the valley,
you're watching penguins.
Put on a jacket. I've done a bit of motorcycling up and down around there on many occasions, and ridden into the Cheddar Gorge, thinking, "Look at this! This is stunningly beautiful, warm." And you get down into the gorge itself, and you're like, what the hell happened there? And again, it's that sink. It's that cold trap where the sunlight can't get in, the wind can't get in to bring warm air in, and you end up with a cold sink. And
that's a very good question, Benny. Benny says, how do trees get on where there's no sunlight as the leaves that feed off or collect photosynthesis?
Ambient light, mate. Ambient light. They will feed off of ambient light, and again, they will manage wood there. Not so well.
K75, that's a BMW?
Yeah.
I did it right. I was right.
So trees don't need sort of like a direct sunlight. They will pick up on ambient. If you look at a forest, quite often in dense forests, there is no real sort of beaming sun, but they will pick up off that ambient light. They become masters. And some of the trees, like sycamores and that, larger leaves, absorb better.
It's all little doorknobs underneath for their little
generator,
generator.
Mouse and its generator. So I try keep going.
It's true though, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's photosynthesis is the light and that's turned into energy and
basically
feeds the tree.
So the chlorophyll within the leaves of the trees take the light, use the light to create a chemical process to produce sugars. Okay, so basically the chlorophyll travels up the leaf. It's a solar panel for trees. Just look at it that way. Solar panel for trees helps them to collect energy, produce sugars and that. Somebody can probably explain it a lot better than I can. But again, they don't need direct sunlight. As long as they're getting ambient light, they'll survive.
Right, Janet, I hope you feel better soon, lovey.
Janet, big hugs and kisses to you, sweetheart. Give yourself...
Rub your feet with onion.
Hot toddy.
Yeah.
Hot toddy. I demand you cure yourself with a hot toddy. You whatever you fancy, your tipple of choice. Bit of lemon, bit of honey, and that.
That's it, kid.
Go snuggle up.
Yeah, the leaves create sugars, etc. that feeds the roots.
Yeah. Yeah. That's well done. Thank you, Kitten Killer.
Capillary action, yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting all the technical terms here now. Brilliant. Capillary action. Yes. Thank you very much. And again, that's where my brain gets stuck. I know what I want to say. My brain goes, I don't know what the word is. I don't know what the word is.
In places that got high winds, like when you notice in the West Country, all the trees are quite dumpy, and they grow in a direction, obviously where the wind blows.
Yeah. So we altitude and trees. Okay.
I love your trees. I've never been very good with H. Yeah, is it?
Depending where you are in the world, usually the tree line can be 10,000 to 14,500 feet, depending where you are. And it depends on the amount of light,
you didn't see
the amount of rainfall,
nothing.
the amount of nutrients in the ground. As you think, you got mountains that shape. So where's the soil? And with erosion, with time, where does the soil end up? It gets washed off of it. It travels downhill. The nutrients end up coming down with rain, weather, and conditions. You've also got temperature. So again, temperature affects trees more than light. They don't. They want a bit of warmth.
Was that the red one? I thought it was an Acer.
Yeah. So again, that's and it's oxygen levels and so on and so on and so on, or carbon dioxide levels, I should say, because trees don't breathe in oxygen. Trees breathe out oxygen. They breathe in carbon dioxide. So, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. A lot of the trees have been cut down to turn into turn into fields.
Right, so there we go. Anybody's got any questions about trees or plants? Andy's a gardener. Yep. Andy, you're now the garden man. You can probably explain it a lot better than I can.
Acer, or maple, they're very pretty, but I just don't. I'm usually pretty good with. I love to go to garden centres and find I go to the sad corner where they're selling off all the cheap stuff, and I revive it. And,
she's like the Florence Nightingale to the country market. She goes in and she's like, "Oh, it's broken.
Oh, being cute. Oh, I have that.
It's broken. It's 10p. I'll fix it." And then next thing, I go in the garden and I'm able to hack through with the
I got a little fuchsia because it was called Annabelle, and our granddaughter's called Annabella. Yeah. Now it's in a little tiny pot, and I keep meaning to plant it, and so far it's halfway up the kitchen window.
Go on then, far away, Andy. Motorcycle related question. Far away. I can't tell you that I don't know the answer. Yeah. They certainly did, Kitten Killer. We've got a whole road, A3 near us, that was actually planted as a tribute to the Canadians. Maples all the way down it till the council cut them down.
Also at Borden, where the army camp there, they used to have a warrener because they used to breed rabbits, and they used to breed black rabbits so that when if anyone poached the rabbit, when you skin the black ones, their actual skin is darker, so you can tell them from a normal rabbit. So they would say that's a black rabbit. So you've been stealing MOD ones.
Damn, I am so sorry, Andy. Now you've asked the one question I can't answer, right? So, Andy, I am partially deaf, so I've always ridden with an open face helmet. Okay, purely and simply because it gives me a lot more peripheral vision, and knowing that I'm extremely hard of hearing, I'm sort of relying on my sense of smell and my eyes.
I see what you're on about.
Even down to at one point, and I hate to admit it, I actually had a Harley Davidson Skull Cap, the little tiny one that goes up there like the old 1920s Bone Dome, or Bone Dome, whichever way it went, which exposed my ears completely. I used to have, in my youth when I had full face helmets. I used to wear Nolans a lot. I used to like those, and trying to think of the other.
We've got our son's ones downstairs. It's a black open face. It's got all the flames on it.
Yeah. That's the sort of thing I wear. And that's my son's, but that's basically
HJC, that one, yeah.
So, won't do anything for keeping out the wind noise.
No.
Right. At the end of the day, we've got the microphone in there as well.
Yep.
That's because my son's flash. So basically, my advice to you would be, if you get a lot of wind noise, is you can get these.
I never worry about wind noise because my hair is got so it used to bunch it up, and
you can get the inserts. I know a lot of the lads use them. Like me, will wear an open face helmet. They get the instant. I can't remember what they're called now. They protect your hearing. The things you put in your ears, not hearing aids, but like noise cancelling.
Yeah.
What's it? I would go with that.
I'm not so keen on the ones that you pull the jawbone bit goes. I don't like them.
Yeah. Earplugs. Yeah. Yeah, that's it, John. Exactly that. I mean, earplugs. I mean, it's that whole thing. I've never been happy with the closed face helmet. No. Always. I think it's because even early on.
I always steam mine up. I'm always writing the vents everywhere. Well, I used to.
Yeah, the old Nolans used to be a good helmet. Those scrubs taste like dirt. Don't ask. Yeah, we know that one. Yeah, it's going back to the 80s. That Katana 1100. I had Kaz on the back, and I was taking it down to the coast, and we were cutting traffic. So basically, we were down through the centre way, and I was young, full of stupidity. So I might have been travelling a bit quicker than I needed to, but I was basically threading the needle, and Kaz got a wasp. Was it wasp or bee?
Wasp.
It was a wasp. Went basically down the side of her helmet, and literally started stinging her behind the ear. And of course, she's on the back, and I thought she was twitching. I thought she was giving it that. Ooh. And I'm concentrating on what I'm doing, obviously. And it was only actually when we got down to a roundabout or something, wasn't it? And I actually come down to stop, and she was literally giving me one in the ribs, going, "For fuck's sake, pull over and stop! I'm getting stoned." And I pulled over and took it out, and it got her right behind the ear and on the back of her neck. It was a real stinker. But I did feel bad. I felt terrible about that. But again, you got to concentrate, haven't you? Yeah, sound cancellation earplugs. Then, yeah, you can. Andy, you can get the ones that are inserts. Those are the ones to go for. A lot of the lads use those. I can't remember the company that makes them. You can actually, they actually will make it to fit your ear hole. They literally put a plug in your ear hole and squirt it in your ear hole. I know a lot of the lads in the.
The only time we really like the wind noise
A
was
lot,
when
a
we.
lot of the guys in my club and in some of the larger clubs that I know, they would use them. And yeah,
We
recommend
had
them.
when we used to ride with the club we were in. We didn't mind the wind noise because we had one that had a Victory, and he used to have the stereo blaring on that. And you know, you're enjoying it, you're having a great time, and then someone pulls up beside you playing ABBA. Not that I don't mind them, but you know, you're not feeling the vibes really when you got.
It didn't help, did it?
No.
There you go. You go out with your bike club. I don't mind
Night yards.
I don't mind which bike club you belong to. But if you belong to a bike club and you're wearing a cut, you're wearing colours, you're wearing patches,
Yeah.
there's a certain standard, shall we say, that you should attain, and a certain way of carrying yourself in this world. To have
Yachts
one of
has
your
gotta go.
members riding a Victory, and a big old Victory as well, with his stereo whacked as loud as he can so everybody within 500 metres can hear what he's listening to, and is an out-and-out ABBA fan. Not only that, is he would sing along to it as well. And as club enforcer, I gripped him one day and went, if you don't turn that thing off, I'm going to smash it out of your bike.
You better say goodnight to Not Yops.
Not like Yops. Sleep well, my friend. Good night, sweet prince. So I just thought I'd explain to the bloke, no. And his answer was, my stereo's broken, I can't switch it off.
I'll switch it off, get me a pair of pliers. Pull every bloody lead out.
Wanted to switch him off once or twice. Well, there we go. We won't go there. That would see.
That's funny because Stephen was saying his ex-girlfriend got burn marks on her bum cheeks from the lights on his chopper, and he thought she was enjoying the ride.
Yeah, you do though, don't you? You get so intent on what you're doing. I
remember when I was on the back of an old fella. He was in his 70s. I used to go on the back of his trike before we got ours, and of course, you're coming up to Box Hill and taking your crash helmet off. You know, so you come into the car park, you know, no crash helmet on, and I twatted him right across the back of the head with my crash helmet.
Benny, I will discuss it with you a later date with me. One thing I won't do. Yes, I've been a club member. I won't discuss the club. I don't discuss my club is still in existence. I'm no longer a member. I've stood down, walked away, had a couple patches in.
Right.
I've no longer any affiliation to any of the motorcycle clubs out there, and I respect all. I respect all of them, no matter what their ethos. But I don't discuss club names, club politics, or anything like that on here. I don't mind mentioning that I've been a club member, and again, not at a high level. I was not in a major club. Okay, wasn't in one of the big five or anything, but we were a sanctioned club. So yeah, that's as far as I can go with that.
And he said it was a Black Widows.
Da, 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 da. Was that one?
The old girl with a shot. Get off my god!
Yeah, and it was a time. It was a period in my life where I was looking for brotherhood. That's all it was.
I like that, John. Camp Angry Beavers, the Masters of Menace.
It was all good fun. It was all good fun.
Yeah.
I met a lot of absolutely fantastic guys. They all know who they are. From
Kit, that's really bad. He went to a VMAX rally in Cologne with his mate, and his mate came out of the tent wearing pajamas. And Marks and Sparks white company pajamas at a German bike rally.
Yeah, did he walk on? especially at a VMAX rally. I mean, let's face it.
Pajamas.
If you own a VMAX, right? And for those that aren't motorcycle fans, let me describe a VMAX. V4,
Chunky,
big, beast,
big.
hoofing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the most famous bike for its high-speed handling, its ability to whip in and out of traffic, but in a straight line, you twist that grip and hang on for grim death. A tuned VMAX is an absolute hoon of a thing to ride.
I'm not saying that it
Without,
rumbles your nuts like a flipping pair of bolts in a tumble dryer.
I'm not being sexist when I and please don't take it the wrong way, but I'm not being sexist when I say man bike, big biceps, hairy armpits. You need them. Yeah, simple as that.
Oh yeah, Max saying he's got his kit's packed for ready for next weekend's tab. Test about 48 miles. Well done, and you'll be meeting him.
Yes, I will be meeting up with you, Mac, next weekend. So yeah, I will be meeting up with you, and I will be joining you on part of that. Yes, there was a VMAX copy. There were a couple of little versions of.
I couldn't work out today. There's one when I couldn't tell if it was a VMAX or one of the Triumph rockets. It was big.
I think it was a Rocket 3.
Yeah.
It looked like a Rocket 3 to me.
Yeah, great in a straight line.
Steve, they were awesome in a straight line.
Yeah.
Benz, we're not your friends.
Yeah, Steve, we had when we're much younger. When I was pregnant with our eldest son, who's 36 now, we had a Katana.
Right,
and you know what?
And that's so you're going to be in Stockbridge, Mac, on Sunday. I take that Sunday around midday or Saturday around midday. And then what I can do, I can make sure that I'm down that end. I'll get Jason to run me down, drop me off, and I'll come back.
Looks like balls tears like a cow that's been drinking.
Saturday, right. So I will make sure I'm in Stockbridge.
You can pick up me some faggots.
Yeah. I'll make sure I'm in Stockbridge before lunchtime on Saturday with me kit. I will join you for the remainder of your walk, and I'll come back with you guys on the train. Although you may need to create a tramway and drag me along behind you, Indigenous American style.
Yeah, just watch out for him not smuggling any more flipping chilies.
Hey, watercress.
Yeah, I love bike. I've always been into bikes. Since I was about 12, I love motorbikes, and I'd love to go to when they bike meets and you get to look around the old classics. You got the Zeds up there, and you got all the trikes and the old Ducatis and Moto Guzzies and Suzukis.
Me and Kaz watched something the other day which we were horrified with. It's the worst bikes of the 70s, and do you know what? They put the Kawasaki Z1.
Yeah,
as one of the worst bikes of the 70s. Come on.
I'm sorry, but it was I don't wish to mean offence, but it was an American program and
bit biased.
Yeah, it was.
They also put the Kawasaki H2 triple up there as one of the worst bikes. I mean, all right, not reliable.
I like a rat trike. We used to have I had a trike. I had a boom.
Saturday.
Yeah. But the boom had the 1300 engine taken out of it.
I'll be on it, Matt. 18 miles.
It had a 2.3 V6 out of a Ford Capri in it. So my trike, when you pulled away, it used to
Matt, bear in mind that you're following a river. Do you want me to bring 3 car inner tubes down? We can inflate them, lash them together.
Yeah, I love the Zeds. I went on the first motorbike I ever went. The first motorbike I ever went on was a Z9. Yeah,
the B1 that was my dream, but still is actually one of my dream bikes. It's a Z900 B1. Absolutely adored it. Thought it was stunning. Nearest, I've had larger bikes. Nearest bike to that in my list of bikes that I always wanted, and I actually got to own one and enjoy it. I had a Honda 404 CAF racer for many years in my 20s. in red. Absolutely stunning bike with a little Alpha 4 exhaust for those of you that remember them. My mum reckons she could hear me from about 25 miles away.
We're lucky that we've got a friend of ours. He was one of the men of the he was riding bikes in the 50s, and he's got Tridents, hasn't he? And he's got every sort of old bike. It's there.
Yeah. I know the frames are under engineered for the engines, but it was a period, wasn't it? It was a period. It was. They built a bike there that, by today's standards, is terrible. By the standards of the day.
Yeah, I went on
They were amazing.
A Z9 B1. It was green, and his name was Albert. Beautiful bike.
It was a stunning bike. It was a bike that, of its time, it was the dream of so many boys. Yeah.
And of course, you got these ninja people, Mac.
Yeah. And you get into modern. I mean,
I do like some of the modern bikes.
So I had.
You were going to get a Valkyrie, weren't you?
I had the Katana, the 1100. That when that first came out. I won't go too much into that because that caused me a bit of grief. But there we go. That was a stunning bike. Loved that.
ZX10. Your friends, you
borrowed my friend's ZX10
when that first came out.
Yeah, scared myself on that. Honda VFRs, had those, and then as I got a bit older, I got into my 30s, and that got into my cruisers. Always had that. I think I saw Easy Rider when I was 16, and that just stuck with me. I've always been that wanted the apes, I wanted the sissy bar, I wanted the stretched bike, long forks. I'm a cruiser rider. I like. Don't get me wrong. I love a bit of speed.
He likes apes as well. You like 8 hangers.
Don't get me wrong. There's nothing. Nothing will put a grin on my face more than 120 mile an hour with a set of 18 to 20 inch ape hangers. Right. There is that buffet weave that you get. Oh, I love it. It's just nothing like it. Owen, good night, my friend. I will chat to you. Owen, Sticks, I'll catch you guys in the morning. We will do a catch up.
That's funny. Normally, towards the end, we're talking about food again. Motorbikes this time.
John, do you know what? That's the unfortunate thing for the UK. For us here, Harleys are a very difficult thing to own. It's just been kept as a money bike. The dealers over here really have us by the ghoulies. I had to buy a clutch pin. All I wanted was the clutch pin for a oh bloody hell. Come on. What was the model? Fat Boy. But it was just a clutch pin. And the only way I could get that through a dealer in the UK was to buy the complete clutch kit at £450. And then I had to wait for 5 weeks whilst I ordered it for the States. I ended up making one out of a drill bit. So they got us by the nuts. The service prices and that are through the roof. And that's why you don't see so many Harleys in the UK. In the bigger clubs where guys are mechanics and specialise in that sort of thing, it's a lot more help. But yeah, it's a pain in the arse, and I do like a Harley. I have ridden Harleys. Do love the sound of them.
Yeah.
Love the feel of them. I think they're awesome bikes. Not necessarily the best bikes for some of the British roads if you're getting onto minor twisties and things like that. But they were, or they are, gorgeous bikes.
The one of him up there, that's XVS 1100. He's had quite a few of those. He had the XVS 1100 and the 650 as well, didn't you?
That's me and Jason leading the riding at the.
That's Jason, his Hampshire Outdoors Kitchen.
We were leading a riding for our group from.
That was
Houses of Parliament, wasn't it? We went up to.
Yeah, that's the
Never Surrender.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Jason, and obviously that's me there. So you can see the sort of bikes I'm into. Yeah, did love that. So for us in the UK,
that's sad to you, Mac. That's nice. Tabbing for him. Yeah. In all those bikes they were knocking was the Norton Commando, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, did he? Yeah, Mac. I'll be along with you, mate. I know. No, I wasn't I wasn't a para, but yeah, met him, and yeah, lovely chap. So yeah, we'll do the tab in his memory. Stephen Wright, FXR.
Yeah. Yeah, he builds his bikes, doesn't he? Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves, man of taste, Norton Commando. So there was another bike that.
And a few friends had Norton Commando. I've actually got a picture of one of our. We were in Guildford, and someone come down the high street, and I actually got a photograph of him riding his Norton past us.
Benny, lovely sentiments, mate. Lovely sentiments. Yeah, that's another one of the old and bold gone. Yeah, Endex, my friend, Endex.
Yeah, not tonight.
Stand out. Yeah, so, yeah. Hangman.
No,
not
uptight.
I was going to do it, but I decided not to tonight. I'm afraid, Kiwi. It's got on a bit. It's a bit later into it, and yeah, Max just give me some news that's hit me in the chest a little bit because, yeah, I know exactly who he's talking about, and that is a real shame. I will, yeah, Norton Commando, lovely bike, handled brilliantly. Engine,
Triton, I like the Triton.
So build a Triton. So you took the Triumph engine, which had the Go, stuck that into that old Norton featherbed frame, and now you had a bike that handled.
My dad had a Triumph Tiger, and his brother had the Panther.
Yeah, he had a Panther. Lucky swine.
My dad sold his motorbike to buy my mum's wedding ring.
My dad's dream bike of all time was a Vincent. He always wanted a Vincent, and he never got to have one, unfortunately. Although my dad went away from bikes in his 20s, and then in his
bit like you, really.
Yeah, in his late 50s, wasn't he? He got on us one day and he went, "I bought a motorbike. I bought a BMW. He bought a BMW R990 naked, cafe racer. I think he rode it 4 times, frightened the living daylights out of him. The bikes he'd remembered to how the bikes progressed, and
that's nice. He's involved to completely rebuild the Land Rover.
Yeah. Well, anything I can do to help there. Yeah. Yeah, anything I can help there, Mac. You know my background in Rovers. You've seen me rebuild that lightweight and that. So if you need a hand, give me a shout. I'm more than happy to come up and chuck in a hand.
Man Ray the Ferret is still doing his Land Rover.
We might also know somebody that might be able to get hold of a few parts because we know other guys that also own Series 1s and 2s and 3s and that.
Yes, guys, he's doing videos.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So. One of the things we used to get quite often, and this relates also to that survival world, practical survival, because again, it's not necessarily being stuck in the woods. It's everything you do in life, and we used to get it in the club world quite regularly, where guys that had bikes in their 20s, would go away from it, and they would get into their older years, 40s, 50s. Now they're financially better off. And they'd sit there and remember their youth and go, "Do you know what? I'm having a bike."
Andy said, "Have you heard of Charlie's motorbike called a Chang? It's a bike from the 60s that was an exact copy of the BMXR series boxers."
I tell you
Rough
what, there were,
Superior. We once were at Box Hill, and an old boy turned up on a Scott Squirrel.
Rough
and-
Superior, first bike,
Yeah.
224 off
Yeah,
the book.
yeah,
Yeah, so Changs. So basically, what you're looking at is what happened Second World War. You had the German motorcycles, the BMWs, the flat twins, and those basically Germany exported those out to Japan. They exported them out to Russia, who were their early allies, and so on, and gave these people these motorcycles. And after the war, these things ended up all over the world. They're seen in the what's the name? The Russian one. They're still making it today.
Oh, I was about to say about that. The Ural.
Ural. That's it. The
Yeah.
Ural. So the Ural is a direct descendant of that Second World War German BMW, complete with the selectable third wheel drive to the sidecar.
Yeah, we were actually looking at the last sort of year,
Yeah.
looking into getting a Ural with the sidecar, because that'd be ideal for me and little Willow.
See, I want a Ural with a sidecar, yeah, but I want an MG34 on the front for Kaz. complete in the non-politically correct colours.
Yeah. I want a holder for me catapult.
Yeah. And again, unfortunately, until the whole Ukrainian thing kicked off,
Yeah.
they were available, and they were quite a reasonable
Yeah, you look at
price
some
for
of
what they were.
the things on YouTube.
Yeah.
Seeing these Urals going through rivers.
Yeah.
And nearly the whole bike's underwater, and it's just chugging away with its sidecar.
Old-fashioned technology, still built today, very similar to how they were originally built. Slight improvements in electronics and technologies and metallurgy and all the rest of it, but it was still pretty much the same bike. It was built the same principle.
I'd be a pig in poo sitting in a sidecar on a Ural.
Yeah, I
Oh, Rog Ulster.
Rog Ulsters. Oh yeah. Jake.
Yeah, so that sort of Scott Squirrel that came into Box Hill, and we were down there one day. He come in on this Scott Squirrel, and he actually had like a little. It was like a squirrel holding an acorn, wasn't it, on the front in like grass.
Yeah.
The poor old bugger, he couldn't get it started again, so he had to sit on it, and people had to bump start him out of Box Hill car park to get him going again.
And again, so the last bike I built was the little bobber.
Yes, please.
That was 1100 bobber.
Yeah.
The one before that I had was a Royal Enfield. I had an Enfield. I had the 500 version, 500 single. I'd always fancy one. Stunning bike to ride. The problem for me was I got the road version. I actually wanted the scrambler.
Yeah. But then the books you still get the satchels and all sorts
it was
for them
just
still.
Unfortunately for me, that's one of those things. I bought it at a good price. I had it for about 6 to 9 months, and I wasn't doing a lot on it. That was the thing. I didn't ride it as much as I thought I was going to, because I got a V-twin sat next to it. I had a 1100 Dragstar bobber that I built or was building. I also had a Honda Shadow 1200 Shadow.
Yeah, the 650 as well.
Yeah, I had a 650 bobber that I'd built, which was brilliant. The 650 bobber, actually for chunking around here, diving up the town and stuff, brilliant. Great through the twist. He's got the balance perfect. The poor old Enfield just didn't get the use. And the funny thing was, I was sitting here one evening, and I got a phone call from the son of the guy that I originally bought it from. And he phoned me up and he said, "Do you still have my dad's bike?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "I don't want to go into detail, but I will pay you what you paid for it.
Yeah.
I'd like it back from my dad." His dad had missed it so much.
He had a prosthetic leg, didn't he? His dad?
And his dad had sold the bike in desperation. It was one of those times that it just got funds were short. Now, which I wasn't aware of when I bought it. It was just that it came up at the right price, and I went having that. When I picked it up, and I'd done a bit of work on it. There was a couple of minor issues when I got it, and I'd sorted them out.
120k.
And I got that back to, and when his son phoned me, I was like, do you know what? I'm not riding it enough. Go on, your dad can have it back, and I hope he enjoys it. So that was a fun bike to ride, although not necessarily the best brakes, not necessarily the best handling. But I can see their appeal, and I wish I'd had the scrambler version because I wouldn't have got rid of that.
Yeah, we got tiled floor in the dining room, so at winter time the dining room was the garage on it.
120k.
Yeah,
Andy. Do you know what? There's some money in them. I heard some money in them. Bruffs. At the end of the day, let's face it, that was a record-holding bike, the first bike to be produced that guaranteed out of the box from the shop 124 mile an hour. And they were a stunning bike. Great history. And I like my classics. I'm not in my youth. I was into my speed, and I have had a couple of crazy bikes. I had a Suzuki GSXR 750 chop that we couldn't control, and that turned out that the guy that built it had actually been using the engine for drag racing, so it had oversized pistons, cams, the lot on it, and it was just it would lift the front wheel at 120 miles an hour and pull wheelies. It was just mental to ride.
Johnston's off. He's sorting the paperwork out for me for a Lewis gun. The Ural sidecar. Watch out!
Nice. Yes, I definitely could. Is that in an anti-aircraft role, or is it aircraft mounted, or are you going to put the full rack on it so it can swing
I want
around?
the rack on the front, so I can have my little my grenades.
Although I've got to say, when we're talking about things like that, I've always fancied a Willys Jeep with a pair of twin Vickers mounted on there. It's just.
Yeah, he had a BMW for a while, didn't you? You got rid of it because you're going to lose your license otherwise, because it was
It was the fairing that did it.
Yeah.
I had a lovely BMW K1100, stunning bike. Got it in the colour I wanted, which was the red smoking into the black with all the panniers, all the gear. And I was like, I'm going to do some touring and all the rest of it. And at the time, my commute was 70 miles. It used to be Andover and back every day, all motorway. And the amount of times on the motorway, I found myself up around sort of 110, 120, thinking to myself, everybody's driving a bit slow today. And they were like, oh, bugger me. Bear in mind, for those of you who don't know, our speed limit on a motorway in the UK is 70 miles an hour. And it was just one of those bikes. You get up over 100 mile an hour on it, and you felt like you were doing 60. It was gorgeous. But it was a license loser because, again, if I've just done a 12-hour shift and I'm riding home, it was great, especially in the winter.
You never got wet, did you?
Winter nights were fantastic. You didn't get wet. You put your old Oxford heated grips on. You sat there on the thing, just beautiful. But it it was a deceiver. Like I say, me on the 1100 there, 8 bangers, up around a ton. You know you're doing 100 mile an hour, especially with an open face helmet.
That one's called Candy. She's actually on the back was mounted a very rude lady.
Lucky to be alive, mate. Lucky to be alive. That's all. There's been some stunning bikes over the years. I mean, there's bikes I would never own. There's machines I'd never own, but I have an appreciation for them. We got a scooter club that meets just around the corner from us here, And these
Oh,
are all
blimey,
guys.
Blackburn.
These are all guys of my age, maybe a little bit older, and they've been lucky enough to buy their Vespas and Lambrettas and that. They've restored them, done some amazing paint jobs. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've ridden a scooter once in my life, hated every moment of it. Not my machine, but I can see the love, the work, and I can also understand the grin on the face. These guys are reliving their youth. They're same thing for me.
Nightly.
I get on my bike, I go out for a ride. I'm reliving my youth. I don't care what anybody says. I am back to 19. Kaz is on the back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. And for a few moments, the aches, the pains, the tubbiness, it all goes away. There's a little bit of that 19-year-old me comes back. And it's a wonderful feeling. So again, I can see it for the scooter guys as well. Although why you would want to, I just don't get it. But I can understand. I don't get the scooters, but I can understand the emotion behind it. Nightly, brother. And I think that's the thing for a lot of us as well. It's hanging on something.
Well, like Jason, he's in a. They're both XVS 1100s up there.
Yeah.
But was yours a customs or he's a custom?
Mine was the custom,
and his is a classic.
He had the classic, yeah.
But Jason used to ride the Pan European. He used to throw that thing around, and it went off like pull of a stick, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the funny things was we both bought those two bikes around the same sort of time. And I gave Jason a bit of a hand. He's a brilliant painter, and his stepfather helped him. And within
excellent
2 months,
he's on about making a bug out bike, haven't you?
Yeah.
He's got a bug out scooter.
Yeah, it's a plan of mine. I want to build myself a bug out bike. I want to find something, and again, it's not finding something too big. I want something light enough that I can off-road it. I can get up a track with it. I want something that's got enough go that it can maintain a motorway speed.
Yeah.
It won't carry a motorway speed. It can carry all my gear, camping gear, the whole lot on it. It has enough of a bike that if I want to go out to Scotland or I
must say, Kitten, that stick of yours, your survival stick, that is perfect.
Yeah, so Kitten, if one day next summer you look out the window and there is some rather tubby older fella sat outside on an old twin or a single with all his gear on it, probably painted olive green, grinning his face off at you, it'll probably be me.
You rack out sticks.
Yeah. It's I've already got some ideas there. I was like the cooking rack carrier system, the squirrel cooker that folds into the racking system.
Yeah.
The ammo box fire pot. Yeah, it's all. It's ticked over the years. Don't you worry.
Well, it's my dining room again for a few months, aren't I?
Using the bike on its stand as one side as my shelter, designing the tarp that pulls out, protects the bike and protects me. Oh yeah, it's all
we're definitely going to be going up with these vehicles.
Yeah, it's I've said that a number of times, and
Kit was saying that there's four tracks now for the Forest of Galloway. Drivable ones, yeah.
Oh wow, that's worth knowing. When we did it, there was only the one, and that was an amazing day out. Yeah, nice rat scrambler. Yeah, exactly that, mate. Exactly that. And do you know what? For those of a certain age, I keep coming back to the old Yamaha XT 500 from about 1980s. Yeah.
Trouble is, you start looking back on the cars and the bikes from the 80s, and you'd have a heart attack when you see how much money they go for now.
Yeah, XT 500. Benny, I love that. Could have some sort of tarp deployment under the seat. Ejecto Tarpo.
XT51, yeah.
Yeah, Andy, great minds think alike. Old XT.
Yeah.
Do you know what I did have, Benny? Sorry, Andy, I did have in my youth, and thought was a brilliant bike. I had a Honda XL 250. Okay, and
That's the one that I need crashing the willow tree. I tried riding a bike and
yeah, that was a brilliant bike. That little bit slow for today, but it was, yeah. I think if you were genuinely looking for a survival bike, XL, yeah, even XL 125, you know, if you were survival, are you looking at speed? If you were looking at an apocalypse situation, are you looking at speed? No, you're not. You're looking at, can I do 45, 50 mile an hour? Can I maneuver around things? Is it light enough to lift over the stuff?
I like
Is
that
it going to
idea.
be
John, that's a good idea.
economical enough to manage? So,
you see, you put stealth in. It's stealth thinking about now doing NATO green.
simple times, mate. Yeah.
John was saying, he said they used to soak potatoes in Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Salt and wrap them in aluminium foil, shove them between the cylinders to cook on the long club runs.
Yeah. It's, yeah. God, John. Yeah, look, guys. I was supposed to give up motorcycles. It was supposed to. I was supposed to be putting it behind me.
There's a carrot and the donkey going on here.
You're not helping. Oh, yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. I tell you what. I wonder what a Honda XL 250 would cost you now. I bet that's through.
I saw an RD 350 for sale the other day. 14 grand.
Yeah.
14.
Andy, I do. But again,
he does want to, but
it's. I've got to be careful. I mean, I sold all my bike lifts. I sold a lot of my tools and equipment and that. It's good. Okay, do you know what? Okay, I'll put this out to you. The best apocalypse survival motorcycle you could possibly own would simply be a Honda C90 Cub.
We used to have one on the farm.
Yep. A Honda C90 Cub. That would be the best.
Andy, John, it's going to be like a little, little thing. It's going to be, it's got this little devil tickling in his ear.
Yeah, the old Honda C90s, then things will do hundreds of thousands of miles and will go on forever.
I did show you a picture of a Suzuki 185.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. The only problem is, it's just, I don't really want to ride one ever again. That 4K now, are they, Annie?
Yeah, so that Honda Cub we had, we used to ride it around the fields until my cousin Linda, she wrapped it around a tree.
I remember you were picking those, CG125, yeah, the most produced motorcycle engine of all time.
It's like the old cars. We looked up some of the old junkers we had, like the old that Renault 11 we had, and stupid money.
Yeah. Oh, don't! I saw Ford Sierra the other day selling for $6,000. They weren't worth that new. Yeah. So, but yeah, the C90. You can go all over the world and come across them.
Yeah.
Honda CG125. You can go all over the world. In fact, today most of those Chinese motorcycle engines are based on the Honda CG125. Yeah. You know, they're out there. It's finding
there's somewhere
stuff.
sitting in the back of someone's shed somewhere, isn't there?
Well, look at me. What the bike I sold that I should have never sold, the Honda, the K4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other, you advertised some parts for K4, didn't you?
Yeah.
And a bloke from the Isle of Man, it was from Ireland.
Yeah.
He come over because he races K4s, and our eldest son thought he's helping his dad out, and he got a hacksaw and he cut the frame up.
I'd stored for a mate in my shed a wealth of Honda K4 parts. So I had one myself, and I ended up, and he literally said to me, use what you need to use, keep your bike going. And it lived in the shed, and I used the bike for a while. then went off of it, and it all sat in the shed. And after about 16 years, I was like, well, I can't get hold of the guy. This gear's got to go. 16 years down the road, he's not had any contact with me, so it's going. And I literally put an ad out there. A couple of photographs. I have literally 3 engines, wiring looms, frames, wheels, swinging arms, exhausts, a whole lot. Honda K4s, all K4 parts, 250s. Here, come and get it. And this guy, he literally within days, drove all the way from Ireland to my house with a van, loaded the whole lot up. And I was chatting to him, and I said, well, why do this? And it turned out he races them in Ireland. He does TT racing.
It's a TT race, yeah. He races
and he literally went, you are enabling me to keep my bike on the road for and race it for the next 10, 15 years.
When Chris cut the frame up, the bloke was saying the frame that he cut up was actually better than the frame that he races. So he took,
but he even took all the parts,
the frame as well.
Yeah. CX500, yes, that would be a good survival bike. The Maggot.
Yeah, we did at one point have the next one on for the Maggot, which was the VT500.
VT500, yeah.
We had 2, where one in the hallway downstairs and one in the dining room. So you used to have a little chest freezer. You used to send the kids over the VT in the hallway to get to my French freezer.
Yeah. You're right there, Andy. Yeah, Shakiro Honda. He's promised there will always be parts for the motorcycles. Hence popularity. Yeah.
But yeah, the CX. That was the old courier's bike, wasn't it?
Yeah. Honda Hurricane. Oh, blimey! Yeah, I had the Honda Nighthawk. 750 right. Nighthawk. That was a good bike. I like that. CB754 basically. Yeah, they were an interesting bike. I did like the VT500.
Oh dear.
Oh. 2 CXs.
You got 2 CXs. Wow.
Don't rub it in, mate. Don't rub it in. Yeah, good bikes. Good bikes. And there were some bloody good bikes in the 80s. And don't get me wrong, by today's standards, like I say, they are different machines altogether. The handling, the capability.
I just don't like twin headlights.
Always say the nippers, you get a lot of the nippers these days.
I'm going to have to cut out because my phone's just...
Yeah, died. I used to have a lot of the younger lads come to the club, and they'd be, Grandad, but in your day... And I say to them, look, son, you may be riding a modern super sport, and it's an easy bike to ride. And they go, what? I see, when I was a lad, riding my Honda 404 with my little tiny skinny tyres made of nylon, right, which would not grip anything in the wet, right, with my single disc brake and my underrated suspension and all the rest of it, I was pulling the same speeds as you are today, but I had to physically ride that bike. I had to manhandle it. I had to look out for every divot, every manhole, every piece of metal, every white line had to be ridden round or through. And that's the difference. There was riding then, and to ride quickly then took skill. A lot of effort, and I'm not saying there's no skill today, but when I compare it to like Jace's his big Honda, what was that? That was the Pan-European. His Pan-European was faster. It handled. It was a gorgeous ride. It was, it was a bike that you really didn't have to worry about. My Honda K1100, again, wet manner. Don't worry about it. The tyres were of good quality. They grip well. The suspension, the setup, the handling of the bike was so much further forward. So that's a bit of difference.
Well, it's 8 minutes past.
Yes, it's 8 minutes past.
And my phone's just died.
So we've done 2 hours, guys. I'm going to leave you there. I'm 18 of you out there. Thank you so very, very much. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy yourselves. Yeah. Get outside. Get some fresh air.
Remember, check out Kit and Killer G _7Z, and we got Chronically Outdoors.
Guys,
Anyone else?
and anybody that needs a bit of support, needs a bit of help, hit us up next week. What we're going to do next week, we'll put names up on the board.
Yeah.
We'll do a list of channels for you next week so that you can all get it up there. Yeah, you're right, John Kennedy. Bikes, some of the bikes today definitely outperform their riders.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with cars. Yeah.
Never go faster than your angel can fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still, again, sorry to have missed your live yesterday, but we will make up for it.
We will make up for it, mate. I will make Caroline make up for it. I'll send you the photos. Yeah, just for when you're alone up at Woodstock, sharing with the lads.
I hope you all have a really good week, and we'll see you.
Yeah, guys, stay safe, have fun, be good, get outdoors, give adventures. Hope the weather's fantastic where you are. Enjoy yourselves. Love to you guys. Love to your missuses, your families, and those of you that support you. Take care of you. Lift you up when you need it.
Hopefully your daughter's been giving you some quiet nights, Benny. If not.
Oh, John, now you got me wondering. You bugger.
Yeah, that's it. Your parcel will be going off to you this week. I shall let you know when I've sent it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Thank you, guys. Right. All the best. Love those you don't. Forgive those you don't. From Mick,
Kaz, snoring below underneath Mac, the table.
Marooned Mac for previously Urban Escapes. Take care. Have fun.
Yeah.
Have your adventures. Love those you do. Forgive those you don't. Peace and light be upon you all. This is Mickey. Till next time.
Bye.
Mickey out.
Bye-bye.
D.
Oh, D.
D. Right, before I go.
Yes.
Mr. Derek and his mum. To Derek's mum, a big hug. Lots of love being sent your way, my sweetheart. Thank you for giving the world such a wonderful chat. Yeah. He's a good guy. We love him dearly. And I'm looking forward. It's going to be his fault that I'm coming to America. Anyhow, I'm looking a bit fidgety because I'm busting for a wee. I've been drinking pints of Guinness. To Mr. D's mum and to the rest of you. Good night, guys.
Bye.
I've got to go for a wee. Mickey out.